natural enemy in our inspiration. You're my nemesis. I'll take it. I'll take it. How you doing, Stian? It's great to see you. We'll be looking at what you posted on the Discord shortly, but yeah, I hope you had a good weekend. Hopefully it's not too hot up north for you, Stian. Awesome. I'm finally getting over my cold. Great to hear. Did you get to rest this weekend? 18 here. It's supposed to be 31 here today. It's Fahrenheit. It's 81 degrees Fahrenheit right now. So it's supposed to be 31. Yeah, it's freaking hot. It is hot. And with I know in May and the worst, well, first off,
Shadow Nita's just redeemed hydrate.
Boom. Hi, Caroline. Good to see you. I hope you're doing well, Caroline. I am not being the wisest due to the fact I'm streaming with 1, 2, 3 computers. I have 4 screens. I have 5 lights going on. This room is going to get so hot by the end of the stream. It's the good thing, though, it feels like a sauna in here. But as soon as I leave and I go into the other part of the house, it actually feels good. Caroline, I hope you had a good weekend, and I hope it wasn't too hot. But with Mrs. Shawn out of the country, and Mrs. Shawn's sister came to visit, and my sister-in-law, and came to visit, and then they went and did a sister's trip, or I should say they're on a sister's trip. And so first off, with it being warm, for me, it's difficult to sleep. Then you throw on top of that I'm what is it, a grass widow or a straw widow? Widow. You seem to have gotten some color too. I did get some color. And I was wearing a hat. Grass widow. I was wearing a hat. I put sunscreen on. Yeah. We'll look at some garden photos from one of the Schlosses down the road. We did talk about the grass widow because here in Germany, it's the straw widow. And, you know, I'd never heard that until you brought it up, Stian. And so I was asking an American, but has lived here for 20, 30 years, whatever, about it. And they said, I have no idea. And they looked it up and they couldn't find any information on it. And the only thing that they could think about is it was based on when the man, long time ago, so the man would go out and sell his wares, that they would be sleeping on usually a bed of straw. I don't know. No definitive answer on that, but I found it interesting. So, I don't know. Okay. According to Lexicon, it came up in the 1920s. Oh, here, the way it sounded is it's much older than that. But I could be wrong. From the German Graswitwe. Anybody that speaks German right now is just shaking their head. Caroline says, I'm good, thanks. It's about 31 degrees outside. Same here. I'm in the living room, which faces west, so it's the coolest room in the morning. Ooh. Mittellower German. Grasweg. Duve. Thankfully, and I hope you're going through the same thing, Caroline, that it is cooler. It gets cooled at night, which sometimes it doesn't, but right now it's getting cooler. So when I wake up, actually when I go to bed, I kind of open up some of the windows, crack them open, and then when I get up in the morning, I open everything, every door, every window, any opening that's going outside. Chrome, hello, Chrome and Craft. I'm getting a German lesson. Not by me. Not by me. Oh, geez. Okay. Let's go ahead and take care of some introductions. Hello, everybody. My name is Shawn Kozel. I am a photographer. I'm based in Germany. Wherever you are watching this, I hope you can see a Linktree link within the description. And that is going to take you to every place I am on the interwebs. And you can join my Discord from here, which is the important thing. Yeah, I had trouble sleeping last night. Me too, Caroline. Me too. I did not feel good this morning. Yeah. I'm trying to feel around the bed and I'm all by my lonesome and it's hot. So, yeah. Yeah, if you're watching this on YouTube, make sure to like, subscribe, follow, same thing as Twitch. If you would like to subscribe to me on Behance, you can do that. And I do have a subscription area, and or you can buy me a cup of Joe and get a cool wallpaper. Very kind. Very kind. Let's get into the Discord, shall we? First update. Devlin posted these images of some cows, some possible art in nature or nature in art. And Tim started, since everyone wants to fight, how should cattle wear pants? And I did a poll. And the poll ended last Thursday. And the final was for A, 22%, and B, with a whopping 78%. Still in question. Chrome, I hope you're doing well. I hope you had a good weekend. Then I found this interesting. Shawn, so this only showed up in my Reels feed today, but way to go Arctic pigeons. Puffins returned to Northern Ireland Nature Reserve after 25 years. So let me open this up. And I found this interesting. Apparently it's old news, but I discovered it this weekend. November 14th. That is... Huh? November 14th. Pigeons... They were discovered last summer. Okay. Because usually oh God, now you got me doing it. Puffins. Ugh, Shawn. Usually puffins, once their babies leave the nest, it's usually around the end of August, early to mid-September, which they leave the island. Yeah, Shawn, I see you. Is where they leave wherever they're roosting. So this November was throwing me off. So this is last year's. So hopefully they made it back again this year, because they definitely are showing up right now. They are where they need to be, and they are feeding. So let's see here. Puffins have been found nesting on the Isle of Mook, have been absent for the last 25 years. That's what I find really interesting. Like, I assumed, and it's wrong for me to assume, but I assumed because puffins mate for life, normally mate for life, that they will return to the same burrows, to the same island. I don't know. I mean, people don't even know where puffins go during the winter. Nobody actually knows that, which I find is troubling and interesting at the same time. How do people not know where they go during the winter? Not a clue. Maybe they started leaving because rats ate their eggs. Well, yeah, that's a major problem. The other major problem, like in Iceland, is somehow rabbits were introduced, and they are an invasive species. And rabbits, when they burrow, they will take a puffin's burrow, but the problem is they make the burrows too big. So in like Iceland, it's a free-for-all against rabbits. Kill them. So yeah. And I like rabbits. I had rabbits. I raised rabbits. Breeding season, thousands of seabirds. Might be down to lack of food that they didn't return, does it tell you? Well, let's see. Let's go through this. In breeding seasons, thousands of seabirds. That is okay. Caroline, that's really smart because like a puffin's favorite is sand eels. That's their favorite thing to eat. So that's an interesting concept. Okay, breeding season, thousands of and I don't know any other birds that eat sand eels. But thousands of seabirds nest on the Isle of Muck, including guillemot, black guillemot, and kittiwake. But until recently, small numbers of puffins had also been seen in the waters surrounding the island. Sand eels, yes. That's the one I got tons of pictures of. Oh, sand eels. It's funny. The discovery was made during routine surveys when two puffins were caught on camera coming out of a nesting burrow on the grassy cliff ledges. A positive sign that the birds are breeding. That is a nice place to go. I like the flowers. This comeback marks a major milestone in their recovery, saying, while a handful of puffins on a tiny island may seem small, this moment is huge. Well, sand eels look like anchovies. Oh, no you don't. No you don't. And let me delete this over here. Okay. Let me get back into here. Let's go into not the Netherlands. Okay. Iceland. All right, I'm gonna do some major fast scrolling here. Oh, I got a tickle. Okay. All right, here we go. All right. So this guy's got 1, 2, 3, 4 sand eels and one little, I think an anchovy, maybe a macro, I don't know. And who knows, maybe these sand eels are easier to digest. Maybe, I don't know. Possible. Let's see if I have another. I know I've got, oh, okay, here we go. But at least that was a feel-good story. Not a lot of them in the news recently. That's true. That is true. Let's get back to it. Now, the interesting thing, puffins, and I find it interesting that they're talking about it being endangered. Rats are the biggest threat to seabird, sea eggs, and chicks. Well, there's one thing. Puffins have like a 98% success rate with reproduction. They're one of the highest in nature. They're really good at taking care of their youth. So, all right, let's their comeback marks a major milestone. Okay, a handful. Their return comes after a special project to remove brown rats from the tiny island. Okay, so it is the rats. It's not the food, but that's an interesting thought. Since the project began, the team has seen other birds' numbers rise, and it was hoped more puffins might also return after a breakthrough last year when 5 were spotted exploring the island. For decades, there have been whispers that puffins once bred on the island of Muck, a story that felt more like a folklore than fact. Our hope is that the Isle of Muck will become a thriving stronghold of puffins. For now, we're waiting for the great excitement to see if the first pufflings, baby puffins, appear on the cliffs next summer. That truly would be icing on the cake. Absolutely wonderful story. I agree, Stian. I agree. To puffins. To puffins. All right. So, thank you, Stian, for sending that over. Greatly appreciated. And let's get into art in nature. And we've got from Robert, Mit Bidrag. I don't know what Bidrag is. What is your submission? Your submission? Oh, thank you. Contribution, gotcha. Got ya. I just translate it, and I thank you for that, Stian. Not sure what it is supposed to mean. Like, is it saying that it's mission impossible to bring back nature? Huh. Curious. All right. Thank you, Robert, for that. Greatly appreciated. And if anybody is new here and you want to take part in the community challenge Art in Nature, if you join my Discord down here at the bottom, you will see challenges, Art in Nature. This is where you post your work to be showcased and added to a Behance project. If you come up here to the top, to the pinned section, you are going to see our brief. And it is Art in Nature. Welcome to the new community challenge, Art in Nature. Create work celebrating nature and the beauty within it. You're free to use any app, medium, or artistic style to bring your vision to life. Please submit your work to my Discord to be showcased live and be featured in a future Behance project. Please use community hashtags if posting on socials. Have fun. And there's the call to action to my Linktree. And the deadline is going to be July 2nd, 5 a.m. CEST. Now, I'm curious if you are looking for inspiration. We have a second page with a bunch of inspiration. And now I'm curious, natural enemies. because I don't think we did natural enemies, and that is another good one. Oh crud! Black. I'm thinking of a cobra and a. Oh, I can't think of it. Natural enemies. Yeah. That's gonna drive me crazy. That's gonna drive me crazy. But natural enemies would have been a good one to have. Cats and dogs, I guess, could be considered loosely as natural enemies, but they learn to live together. Brothers could be mongoose. Mongoose. We have a tie at 12 o'clock, 50 minutes and 49 seconds. We have a tie. Devlin says mongoose and Caroline says mongoose. You can Photoshop an image of me and you meeting during a hike. What is the Austin Powers? He is my mongoose. Dr. Evil's like, he is my mongoose to my cobra. Or my cobra to my mongoose. I don't know mongoose. Mongoose. Monogoose. Mongoose. Thank you for that. I could probably do that, Stian. Probably do that. Let's see here. Yeah, that's what we got going on. So if you want to take part in this challenge, make sure to join my Discord. This is where you're going to post your work, and we will go from there. If you have any questions, make sure to reach out to me. Let me know, and I'll answer them. Okay, so let's jump over into Lightroom Classic. Let's jump up. Let's do previously imported. There we go. All images. All right, so again, this is so redundant, but let's go ahead and import, and I'm going to switch sides for right now. Let's turn off my lower thirds. Let's see here. By the way, Devlin is on, for anybody interested, Devlin is on YouTube right now. But when they pop over to Twitch, you will notice that she's gonna have a little badge. Been modded up. And Devlin, just so you know, I have put you in on the Discord as a streamer. So if you are going live and you would like to promote yourself on the live streaming channel up here, you have the power now. So if you would like to, you can. Hold on, I have a notification. Why do I have a notification? Should not have a notification. Okay. I had to make sure it wasn't important. Yeah. And Stian, of course, is a mod on my Discord. Everybody gets a mod. Do you, Stian? Thank you for the Discord access. I thought about it and I realized that I didn't have you as a streamer. And yeah. So Stian, I know you were not part of this years ago. Devlin, you probably remember this. Caroline probably remembers this. I would, on my streams, whoever that like came in first to my streams and was chatting, I would make him a mod for a stream. Horrible mistake. Horrible mistake. I had a falling out and I couldn't unmod, so that meant I couldn't boot them, and it was to the extent I was trying to boot them and I couldn't. It was bad. Sounds like a recipe for disaster. Unfortunately, I did not have... Okay. I'm trustworthy, or I'm trusting. I'm a trusting person, and unfortunately, I made a bad decision. And then when I tried to unmod, I actually had to contact Behance and is like, I'm trying to remove this role and it won't remove. And the person was like flaunting it horribly on my streams. It was not a good situation. Not a good situation. So, with that being said, I have learned my lesson from the past. So when I do make certain people mods, let it be either for my streams or for my Discord, whatever, it means a lot. I'm putting it that way. And I don't want to thank you. I don't want anything, I'm not asking for that. I'm just saying I've screwed up in the past. So for me to do it, it means something. So, Stian, Devlin, thank you. Okay. We're back in Lightroom Classic. Let's go ahead. We're going to hit import. And we do not need all of these images. So let's uncheck that. Let's grab these images. I just took a few because it was freaking hot. All right. So we've got those. Okay, includes, let's see here. Let's go over. We're going to copy as a DNG. We're not going to build smart previews. Don't import. Okay, second copy, not needed. A collection, we'll see. We'll see. Maybe I have a collection already made. Let's look. Oh yeah, it's all the way at the bottom. Yep, I've got a collection, Elk Villa. But I gotta pop out for a meeting. I'll try to reach the end of the stream. If not, have a great day. Take care, Stian. Thanks for coming in. And thanks for posting that article. Okay, so let's do our custom type is going to be Elk Villa 26. And start number is going to be 1. Keywording, let's do 2026. Elk Villa. Germany. Castle. Garden. Flowers. Yeah, that's fine. That's fine. Okay, let's not put it into that. Let's go into our passport. Now I'm blocking that. Let's go into there. We've got Germany. We've got Elk Villa. And let's actually put it into Elk Villa and we'll put it into a subfolder raw 2026. And let's import. So here's not the ha-ha thing, but the funny thing. Mrs. Shawn. Down the river is the Elk Villa Castle. And it's a beautiful little village. And they have an amazing rose garden within the castle. And so going in, checking it out is always a lot of fun. Now, for some flowers, we were a little late. For other flowers, we're early. So it was kind of one of those things like spending time with Mrs. Shawn and sister-in-law, my sister-in-law, and out in the blazing heat. Just able to get some photos in. So that's what we're going to be working on today. Now, the questions, we'll go through these really quick. Great half timber. This is just a lovely street. I really like that street. Now, of course, these cannot be put in art in nature. And same thing here. But the question that I have is, could something like this be put into art in nature? Let me know, chat. Let me know what you think. It is a garden, but you really can't see anything else. Now, of course, this one, definitely not. This is just fun. I love what they did. Whoa, that's way too much of a zoom. With the chickadees and yeah. Just fun. A little tea garden. That actually, wow. That is, I'm liking my newish lens. I guess I've had it for a year, but oh. I have an idea for this one. I do. We may start with that one. I was walking up the street and saw this and was like, oh yeah. So let's go ahead. We're gonna hit D for develop. And Chris, hello. Chris says, hey, Shawn in chat, just popping in for a few minutes before the day continues. How you doing, Chris? I hope it's not too hot where you're at. Hope you had a good weekend, and I hope you have a great day. It's wonderful to see you. Okay, so first off, we're in our develop. Let's go into our crop. Let's grab our angle, and let's grab, wow, that's not what I wanted. I wanted my angle. There we go. And even though it's a bush, I still want to make sure that it's somewhat straight. So we can go ahead and close that. Let's get into our lens correction is already done. It going in, we don't need to transform. I just did that. And let's go ahead and we're going to go black and white. We have cool weather here. So much rain that it's supposed to clear up for a few days, but it's supposed to clear up for a few days. I don't mind not having the blazing heat. Oh, we could use some rain. We could. I'm jealous, Chris. I'm jealous. Whoa! I do not like that. I was not expecting that with an adaptive black and white. Ooh. Okay, we're not going to go there. Let's take that back over here. All right. Let's just find some place to start at here. And I think I know where I'm going to want to go. And usually I am kind of looking for a little bit of a silhouette. But of course we can always change that up. That is moody. I tell you, that is moody. Let's start with that. I'm digging that one. Okay, so we're gonna add a little bit more contrast. We can bring up our highlights just a bit. For this, we're gonna darken our shadows to start with. I'm gonna leave our whites, and our blacks we're gonna bring over just a hair. We may want to stick with this. The moodiness, I'm kind of digging that. Add a little bit of dehaze. Okay. Let's get into our black and white mixer. Let's jump into here. No, let's not do that yet. Let's get into our masks, and we're going to do a linear gradient. And I want to bring out, like, I like the fact that it's falling off as much as it is, but I want to open up that just a tiny bit more texture coming through. So if we open up those shadows just a hair, we can also increase the contrast. I don't want to go too, I don't want anything like that. I just want a little bit. Little bit coming through. Detour, hello. How you doing? Hope you're doing well. Okay, we're gonna go ahead and duplicate. We're not gonna duplicate and invert, but I'm gonna duplicate this and we're gonna bring it down. Okay. Now, the one thing that I did like about this, and let's go ahead, I'm gonna hold down the Option key and we're gonna reset everything there. Now here, we are going to go back into our shadows and we're gonna darken that up. Like, I like having the fall off at the very bottom going to a rich black. We don't need to see texture all the way through. So having that, so I'm gonna use the mask to end up darkening what we've already lightened, if that makes sense. So that way we can have a nice fall off and still get what we want. Roland, hello. Are you using adaptive presets? Roland, I have been, yes. And the crazy thing, the black and white adaptive preset for this, like I had, let's get out of this for a second. Let's go ahead, do a virtual copy. And we'll reset it. Okay, let's get into here. Let's D for develop. Let's reset it back to where it was. And first off, let's get it, grab our angle. This kind of surprised me. All right, close that down. We go into our basics. We've got our black and white. We open it up. Now you can see this is just your basic black and white. Right? Now, if we go to the adaptive preset, holy cow. That is not what I expected for the black and white adaptive preset. The adaptive color does a really super nice job. The adaptive black and white is really over the top. And if I'm for what I am trying to create, if I have to take it all the way down to 7, to get a starting point, it's not worth using. It's not worth using. Like, it's crazy to me that this is our starting point. I didn't even take it up to 100. Like, oi. No, thank you. I hope you were talking about the adaptive preset profiles. If you're talking about the adaptive presets, as in over here in above my head, in the preset panel, yeah, I play with them. Some of them are good. But what I have been working on recently is trying to expand more of my artistic editing. I got into a bad loop for a while, for years, in fact. And this is I hope this is interesting to you, to everybody. I started selling images, started selling on several different websites, and you get into this mindset of stock images and having to have a certain look, a certain way, certain exposure, certain this, certain that. And so that is what I was editing for. I wasn't, and I love editing. Don't get me wrong, I love editing. But I was going for that, the idea of stock imagery rather than creative imagery. And I realized that I was kind of in a hole. And it was recently, let's see, what do we want to look at? Slovenia? Do Slovenia. My trip to Slovenia in the Alps, it's just gorgeous. But my edits were boring. And so I started trying to get back into something more creative, getting just more artistic. That might be the wrong word, but I was having a really tough time kind of breaking out of that stock image thought process. This one here, I absolutely freaking love this edit. I love it. And so this is when it was starting to make me realize I gotta be more artistic. I have to take it further. I'm interested in using it for automating specific tasks with AI that it will identify parts of an image, let's say skin smoothing, and make it more intelligent. Yeah. Rolling, for sure. You know, I mean, if you go back, let me see. Let me check something here. Who do I have that I can show? Probably not that. I have to be careful who I'm showing from my portraits. What do I have here? Oh, I know what I've got. One moment. All right, here we go. Yeah, I had to go in and do new passport photos for my 3 different passports. They were expiring this year. And so anyway, we've got my portraits. So if we go in D for develop, and over here, let me get back. We have the adaptive portrait. Now you can get in and we have just the regular enhance, we have glamour, polished, gritty, smooth facial skin, the enhanced eyes, whitened teeth, darken eyebrows, darken beard. Serious? Darken beard? Yeah, that darkened my beard. Okay. Texture hair, smooth hair, enhanced clothing. Oh god, that glamour is horrible. Let me zoom in so you can see. This is, wow, that's horrid. Oh, that's gritty. That's gritty. The smooth facial skin. Of course, you can make your own adaptive presets and do whatever it is that you're trying to do. Obviously, when I was pre-COVID, when I was shooting portraits every freaking day, I was trying to be very selective as into how far I would go. But I know shooting beauty or fashion is another deal, especially if you have to batch process them like hundreds, and the position can be very different for each photo, but it can do it without manual brushing. Yeah. I mean, the whole thing, if we do the facial skin and it processes, and of course you can add this preset to 2 photos or 500 photos. And as you can see here, what we have is it's telling you it's added a mask. It did a crop. Let me zoom out. I don't even know what the crop it did. What the crop did it do? It increased the exposure, decreased the texture. You can see it right there. If we go into our masks, we have and it even says smooth facial skin. And if we show that overlay, let's see it, boom. It does a really freaking nice job. This does a nice job. Now, if you get in and you want to take it further, and so if we go in and we do a select people, and yep, there I am. Okay, so now we have the facial skin, but then you have your body skin. So you can see it's got my arms and my neck. So with the adaptive preset that you're making, that if you want to make your own and you want to end up smoothing out the skin on the neck, shoulders, arms, whatever of your subject, you can actually create those masks and have them together as a individual mask, and so it will smooth it out together. Do you always want to do that? No. You have people that have different skin types of different parts of the body. Roland says I'm stealing that line. What the crop it did? Yes. Facial hair. I should totally go red. We've got our lips. It does a really freaking nice job. It does a nice job picking up everything. So most definitely you can create your own preset for batch editing if you have a specific style. Most importantly, let's go ahead, we're going to cancel out of that. If you do create a preset and you come over here and you add in your adaptive, the smooth facial skin. Now I didn't click on anything else, so that's the only mask there. So that is an adaptive preset. So it's going to find the face of every subject that you use this preset on. So you want to make sure to click that. But also, your support amount slider. Use it. Use it. I mean, this was a huge change. Up here, you can see it right there, the adaptive smooth facial skin preset. So if we come back into here, come on, oh, one moment. If we come back into here, I can crank this up to 200 and it's way over the top. I mean, that is just way over the top. And then you can always bring it down. But I mean, from that to that, yeah. I am, and I've always edited my portraits. Excuse me. Let me reframe that. I have been horrible. Going back to maybe a decade ago, there was, and I don't even know if it's still around, Portrait Pro. This was a program specifically for portraits. And okay, Roland says yes, that is the one. I recently learned that 2 weeks ago, and it's such a great way to save time. It's so easy to go over the top. It is so easy. And I beg anybody using it, whatever it is you do, then take it back a couple steps. I to play with it initially when I got it like a decade ago. The first portrait that I did it on Mrs. Shawn, and she honestly could not recognize herself. I changed the hair color. I completely added a different style of makeup. Like, I don't even know what it can do now. You change the eye colors, a hair color, clothes. You can do all of this. And then the smoothing, the lighting, the blah, blah, blah. It was so over the top and bad. I mean, bad. So I'm guilty of that, and learn from my mistakes. Yeah, I'm more of the thought process. Like, if we get into here, let's take this back down to 100. You know, I have freckles. Keep them. Don't get rid of them. Don't get rid of my freckles. If I have a scar, which I do in places, don't get rid of my scar. And I wouldn't do that to somebody else. If you have anything that's going to be there for over 2 weeks, leave it. If you have a blemish, if you have something and it's going to be gone in a couple weeks, okay, get rid of it. It's not part of the person. It's just life. Yeah. So I am more in the camp of that. Now, back in the day, used to do, you know, some really nice beauty portraits and whatnot, and definitely went a bit over the top. But that's just something I kind of had to go through and figure out. And I know I was kind of all over the place with that, Roland. I hope that kind of, you know, I don't know if that helped you. I mean, you really didn't have a question. More of a statement. The only challenge right now is that it cannot do removing items in a photo with syncing. Which app are you talking about, Roland? I just did a tutorial. I had to re-record a tutorial for Adobe. And one of the things, I can't really share what it was, but it was a portrait with a couple and really had to remove a lot of spots and whatnot from the image manually. The team, the Lightroom Classic team at Max, so this has been a few months ago, I took a photo of through an airport window, specifically to use with the reflection tool. I did reflection removal tool. I did not have a photo with a big enough reflection that I could do it on. So I specifically took this photo and I went in and I used the reflection tool. Worked great. Now it's an airport window. It's a massive window and it is just dirty as heck on the outside of the window. Just normal airport. So I tested the spot removal, which is your sensor spots. I tested the spot removal on it and it removed some of them. And I was like, okay, why didn't it remove these other? I mean, they look like sensor spots. These dirt on the window. I know what it looks like. I used to have dirty sensors. And I took it to the team and they were like, we never thought of using it that way. It's not designed in that way. So it is trained to be the spots that are on the outside of your focal plane. Anything outside the focal plane, it would remove the spots. It knows those are sensor spots. If it's actually within your sensor plane, within your focal plane, it thinks it's supposed to be there. Like intelligently, let's say remove background creases or flyaway hair, especially if the photo is not in the same composition. That flyaway hair, honestly, I don't care about that. That's super easy to fix, but for the batch editing, how could it do that? See, the problem with the creases, with the background creases, which I get, well, I steam my background, so there's really no creases. There's more creases on the green screen on my chair than on my background. Yeah, if you're a photographer, buy a steamer. Buy a steamer, buy a steamer, buy a steamer, buy a steamer. They are wonderful for dresses, for backgrounds, all that great stuff. Buy a steamer. The issue with creases is if you train the AI to actually understand what a crease is, it's going to remove the creases within clothing. And that is a problem. That is a byproduct that you would not want. But the difference is I like editing. So for me to go into Photoshop and remove that stuff and clean it up, I want to make the decision more so than any AI. AI, the Photoshop, the remove tool within Lightroom Classic is amazing and it's wonderful. The remove tool. The automated part of it The reason I like it in Photoshop is because I'm going to have it on its own layer. It's going to be on its own layer. It's going to be 100%, non-destructive. If something like remove wires it's a one click, you have to make sure now they've added in Photoshop automatically. There's a check mark at the top of add new layer. Do I have anything recent? Oh, we did a vineyard. We might have done that one. Let's go into Photoshop. Oh, that's not the one we did. But 1 second. Let me open Photoshop. We're gonna talk about this. And thank you for opening. Let's get back into here. I had one. Oh, it was earlier. I wasn't. We could do this one. Let's do this one just for fun. Let's do a Command E. Let's take that into Photoshop. 1 second. Okay, I'm back. So this is one of the problems. Now, what I was talking about, as you can see over here, I've got my layers. I got my background layer. That's exactly what I want. Let me open my properties up. There you go. So if we jump over here and we grab the remove tool, we go into find distractions up here. Now, let's talk about this stuff first. You have sample all layers. Remove after each stroke, which I do not like at all. And this is relatively new. Create a new layer. So if I go ahead, I've got create a new layer. Great. Auto. Yep, that's a suggestion from Adobe. Find distractions, and we do wires and cables. This is a prime example. And I did this earlier with an image that I took up in the vineyards where there's literally power cables running above the top, and it ended up going through and removed all of the wires from the vineyards. They're gone. But the good thing is it's on another layer. So there it is. That's what it looks like. So this is the problem where within the image, now of course I can paint this back in. I can add a mask, paint this back in, no problem whatsoever. The interesting thing is that the AI doesn't realize what is a power wire or a power line and what is wire for vineyards. These are some case scenario by photo studios who have been doing a lot of batch processing, thousands per day, multiple locations. I'm simply into Lightroom, but couldn't address tell it that is capable. No. I mean, usually if you've got a background and you've got creases and whatnot, you're going to remove the background. You're probably going to put it in another background. You definitely have more issues. Like I'm actually trying to, if that is a photo studio and their biggest concern are creases in their backdrops, come on. A, buy a steamer, or B, or 2, get better backdrops. Yeah, like that's funny. I mean, I'm not trying to throw shade. I'm just like, that is not an issue that I have had in a long, long time. What was the other one that you said? Oh, flyaway hairs. At what? Yeah, I don't know. I don't, the case use of what is needed, I'm interested to find out. Let's not save that. Like where these two things, flyaway hairs and creases in the backgrounds, are on Adobe's radar. Like, for those of you that do not know, the way things work with Adobe, how you want an update, okay? You have to, you can tell people, community experts like myself and others, some of them are in chat, and one second, I am bringing up a website. Nope, Adobe, please, there you go. But the best way, okay, let me close that. Okay, the best way to end up having anything to be put on the roadmap. Now, think of it this way. Adobe has a roadmap, and this is with every single app, for what they want to put into the app for the upcoming year or even quarter. And so what occurs is within the community, within the forums, if something is upvoted, they will actually take that suggestion, and only if it's upvoted, they will take that suggestion and get it in immediately. And I have seen it. I've seen it done firsthand, like quick. Pretty amazing stuff. But I've also seen the opposite, where there could be a wonderful idea, but it gets zero traction within the forums, and community experts and Adobe employees that monitor the forums in certain meetings, they'll bring it up and they'll have like 2 or 3 upvotes. And that's it. And it's a wonderful idea. So it's one of those things that you kind of have to initiate if you have an idea for any app. You come into the community forums, and let me put this into chat. You write it up, and write it up well. Don't sound like a freaking 12-year-old. And then you need to kind of promote it a little bit. You need to get backing. You need to get people to back it. You can do that by on the Discord saying, hey, I have this idea. You know, all the Discords, they have suggestions. Community managers for Adobe read those. They actually make lists and take them to the team to talk about them. So it's not only the forums, but it's also the Discords. Well, it's... So Roland is saying, I got it. I also got into the conclusion that there's also a ton of concerns that they have making them all automated. Like, the issue that I have with flyaways is you could train the AI to an extent of what a flyaway is. It's the same thing as in Photoshop when you are trying to remove a background. And remove background over the last few years have gotten better and better and better and better. But it still cuts part of the hair out. With all of that, you can't, it still gets that halo effect around the hair. For whatever reason, it can't teach the AI hair. Like, I'm stunned, and I'm surprised, but also, you know, people like Jesus Ramirez comes up with workarounds, whereas get rid of it and then generate it back in. Or make a hairbrush. Heck. What am I looking? Oh, wrong computer. Within Photoshop, new file. Let's do that. Okay. B for brush. Where are you? Let's jump into my hair brushes. Like, I have created a ton of hair brushes to bring in, to use. In fact, I think I have do I have them? That's the holiday. Yeah, I've got hair brushes here for subscribers on Behance. I have different styles. I have spiky hair, long hair, curly hair. I have tons of different hair. Yeah, I've created literally a ton of brushes because the remove background didn't work. So you had to bring it in, bring hair in, add hair. All kinds of hair. So, do I see it getting better in the future of being able to invert? Maybe. Hi, Elena. Dupug. That is why we call you Hair. Good one. How you doing? Good to see you, Elena. I hope you had a great weekend. Dupug, I hope you had a great weekend. Great to see you. Yeah, let's do a preemptive boom. Thank you for being here. Greatly appreciated. You are so welcome. All right. So I think that was a long tangent.
Bezu77 just redeemed Big Boom.
Let me turn that up a bit. I could barely hear it. Bam. Thank you, Elena. Okay, let's get back over into Lightroom Classic. Great conversation, Roland. Great conversation. Thank you so much. I always love a good tangent. Yeah. Where am I? Where am I? Back down here. All right. So let's see. Where was I? Hyena. Adobe can do generative fill on literally anything except my bank account after the subscription renews. Hyena. This is for anybody. When your subscription is getting close, and I'm talking like a couple days, and you need to renew, call Adobe. Call Adobe and say, hey, are there any discounts right now? Because I think, what did I see? One second. Let me get into my Discord. Okay, Adobe links. Here we go. On my Discord, got Adobe links. Let's get up to the top. US 50% off of Creative Cloud Pro for the first 3 months. Okay, for the first 3 months. Call Adobe. I already submitted the request, full detail in the community. Thanks, Shawn. Sorry for the no, don't be sorry. I love the fact that you came in and you asked questions. I love it. I love it. Let me switch sides here. There we go. So going back, when I had a free all app plan years ago, and it was coming to the end, and I was ready to pull the I was ready to buy the whole plan. I needed the whole plan, And so somebody within my community reached out and said, hey, did you call them? And I'm like, what do you mean? They said, call Adobe. And I'm like, really? And they're like, yes, call Adobe, ask if there's any discounts, that your plan is ending, you want to renew, but you're looking for discounts, and him and haw. I did, and I got a wonderful price. And I think it was around $30 a month, something like that. But for the entire year, not just 3 months. But it was, the all app plan years ago. And I'm not saying that's the price you're going to get. I don't work for Adobe. I don't deal with any type of accounts. Zero. I know nothing when it comes to this. All I'm doing is giving a suggestion to anybody to give Adobe a call and Google, if you have questions, Google Adobe HelpX. And this is where you're going to start. So, I'm seeking a second opinion from a fellow community expert in that concern. I'm on board, Roland. I'm having a tough time seeing it implemented. That's it. Hyena says, I'll generate a cardboard sign that says Adobe, anything helps, front, black Sharpie marker. Oh, font, black Sharpie marker. Oh, I thought that said front, not font. Hyena, I'm telling you, reaching out to Adobe makes a world of difference. It really does. So, yeah. Like I said, it worked for me. So I try to pass along something that I learned to the community. Hopefully it helps them at some point. Oh my gosh, is it freaking hot and I'm almost out of water. Let me check out. Okay. I need water. So I'm gonna tell you what, everybody. I am going to take like a 30-second break. Not even 30, like a 10-second break just to run out, get some water, and I'll be right back. So please hang out. I'll be back in a moment. I'm thirsty. Thank you for the dance party there, Elena. Greatly appreciated. Oh, Hyena, do you need a link? Do you need that link? I'll put it in chat in case anybody needs it. There we go. All right. I've been live. How long have I been live? For almost an hour. That can't be right. No, hour and a half. Hour and a half I've been live, and I have not even got past the first panel for editing. I love these streams. Okay, so we are in the develop module. We are going with a slightly moody black and white. I've added two linear gradients to get this bottom part that I like. I'm gonna do a test. Let's get back into our masks. Let's create a new mask. Let's do a select sky. And that did not do a good job. But we're going to try something. I don't know. Ooh. That's kind of freaking cool. I was not expecting that at all. Oh. That is a cool freaking sky right there. Yeah, but okay. I don't know if this is bothering me. It looks like a jet trail coming right down the middle. And it kind of is bothering me. Due to our location to Frankfurt Airport, and this is throughout history of airplanes, not history of the world, but airplanes. They've used the Rhine River to navigate. So a lot of times, thankfully not directly overhead, I don't hear them because they're usually at their highest point when they're making the turn to go to Frankfurt Airport. But they come over this area and do like a 180-degree turn to come into the landing strip into Frankfurt. Yeah, let's get into the remove tool. Let's turn off the generative AI. Yeah, that's better. Okay, just as a reminder, due to the fact that I have messed up in the order of things, you will see this yellow reload button. That is because I have used different functions on this image and it needs to be updated. So if I click on it, you can see right here that I did a sky mask. So I did the sky mask and I made the adjustments to the sky mask. Then I did a remove, and that is out of the order, and it's saying, hey, you need to update your sky mask because you just screwed it up. You didn't go in the right order. So personally, I don't care. I'm fine with that, and we can just update that mask and it will run the mask again. It'll keep all the changes that you made. All it's doing is it's running the adaptive sky mask again. No problem. There you go. Easy peasy. All right. I do like where this is going. I like the highlights, these white highlights coming in. The silhouette of the tree just kind of looking gnarly.
Bruce Shark Digital just redeemed Doodle Game.
Bruce Shaka-diddle. Bruce! How you doing, Bruce? Happy Tuesday. I hope you had a great weekend. It's wonderful to see you. And you're just in time. We got a little bit more time before we get the Doodle Game up and running. But how you doing, Bruce? Wow. I'm a little torn here. I'm a little torn. if we do the dehaze, let's get into our mask. Let's get into our sky mask. A little late, but yes, doing well. Thank you. How was your weekend? It was good. It was good. Yeah, I picked up my sister-in-law from the airport. We did a little bit of running around. We went out to the castle down the river from us, going to the garden, and got way too much sun way too fast. And then I took the sisters to the airport yesterday morning for their sister trip. So yeah, it was. I was a taxi driver. Let me put it that way. That's why I was a taxi driver. And I'm okay with that. What am I doing? Oh, a dehaze. Dehaze in the sky. I'm liking the contrast that we have going on from the sun coming in on the left-hand side, coming across to a darker sky. I like that. I like a little bit of the cloud texture. Was that before your career as a pet rock nutritionist? Actually, so you're mistaken. I started my education going that way, and I realized that the pet rock industry was going down, so I transferred over to being the Mexican jumping bean nutritionalist, and it soared. It was probably the best, during the late 60s through the 80s. Right on. Any Spencer's shop or almost any gift shop or joke shop you went into, they would have one of my Mexican jumping beans. Wonderful. Bruce says, ooh, moody photo. Where was this taken? He was the original Mr. Bean. Oh, dupe. This was, so let me get out of here. You looking at this image, let's get into previously imported. You would not think that I was at a castle garden. The town is called Eltvilla. They have a
vacuum_TKN just redeemed Big Boom.
Mafu. Bam. So this is the cathedral within this small village. This is the castle tower. Thank you for popping in, Mafu. And it's just beautiful, beautiful rose gardens. And while I was walking out, let's get back into here. Let's hit D for our grid. Let's reset. As I was walking down this ivy old wall, the branches of this tree just caught my eye. And thank you, chat, for 100 messages. And as soon as I saw it, this is what popped into my mind. And I was like, oh. I'm doing good, Mafu. I'm hot, I'm tired. Didn't sleep well because I'm hot and tired and alone, but I'm doing okay. You all make me feel better. I felt like crud this morning. You too? Yeah. I felt like crud, and I was just dragging all morning. And chat, you always give me a bunch of life. Okay, so yeah, I'm trying to create the image I had in my mind. So that's where I'm going with this. Is it for anything? Is it for the challenge? No. No. And now that we have a bunch of people here, I have a question. I'm going to put this out there. So obviously a photo like this should not be put in art and nature. Should not. Well, what, Mafu? This is a first? What do you mean this is a first? Why not? There's a castle in the background. That's not nature. You can tell. Okay, it's no, that doesn't count. But if you take it a step further and you look at this image where you can't really see, could this work? If I don't give you any information, yeah. Could this work? Absolutely. This is the first time you haven't made a project dedicated to a challenge. The challenge is still going on. Wait, no, Mafu, you're confused. Hold on, Mafu. I always make the project at the end. That way everybody can submit their work and everybody has their work to be submitted. I was just making the statement that these images could or could not be for the challenge. You know, something like this. You don't know that this was a garden if you didn't watch this stream or the VOD, or you left early. So yeah, you don't know. Now, same thing, you know, with this image. There's everything here is natural. Ooh, because I clearly remember a trend you were doing. Yeah, no problems, Mafu. No, the issue, Mafu, the issue was somebody published my project early. And I was not happy due to the fact I was waiting for a specific day for the best views, blah, blah, blah. And yeah, somebody published it. But that's fine. That's not happening again. Okay. Wouldn't that be cheating? Are you, Mafu, are you saying that if I decide to put this image into my challenge because I know it's a garden, that it would be cheating? Is that what you're telling me? If someone publishes your project for you. Oh, no. Okay, we need an explanation here. Nope, Mafu, you are. No. Let me explain. Please hold, Mafu. Let's get here to the Behance. All right. We're gonna use the Power and Art challenge. Let me do this because I'm gonna do some fast scrolling and I don't want anybody to feel ill. All right, one of the things. Oh, I think that's your old one, Vikram. Okay. One of the things that I like to do is when we do a community project, and I mean all of us, we take part in this. So because we all do this, and this is all of ours, it's literally ours, I want to make all of you owners. So here's what has occurred a couple times, I think 3 times, before I learned from my own mistake. So slow learner here is, as I was building the project out, I made everybody an owner. That way it's on everybody's homepage and we can expand our reach as into who sees our work. This is, I think, very powerful and a great tool to use. Now, the project was done. And I went through, and as soon as I type your name in, let's say this guy here, Tim. As soon as I put Tim's name in, if he is at his computer, he is going to get a notification saying, hey, you are an owner. You were put as a owner for this project. Do you want to? Is that okay? And you hit yes. And then, like what everybody does, they go in and they look at the project. Okay. Let's go in. Let's hit edit project. Now, they jump into here and they're looking at it because the project is not live. And instead of hitting view preview and they get done, it says publish project. And they hit that, where I was able to actually keep it as a draft and tried to wait to publish it on a specific date. So by accident, some owner hit published, and immediately I started getting a whole bunch of it really, I just lost it. Started getting all these notifications that, oh, so-and-so liked your project, so-and-so liked your project. And I'm like, no, they couldn't have because it's not published. And then I get onto my homepage and it's published like 2 days early. So yeah, I think power and art, I figured out how to do it. The create waves, somebody else published it. The motion and art, somebody else published it. And the light and art, somebody else published it. So those 3 projects, I didn't get to hit the publish button, and they were published early. So that is what I'm talking about, Mafu. Big tangent. All right. We're still trying to get one photo done. All right, so I like the texture that we've got going on. The softness, we're back into there. The texture in the sky, I'm liking that. We have no pure whites, no pure blacks. I love this rich black that we've got going on down here. Now I get it. It was a funny story, though. I was so freaking mad, Mafu. You have no idea how upset I was. I know 2 of the 3 people that accidentally did it. They came forward and said, I think it was me. Sorry. No, I was not a happy camper. Not a happy camper. All right, let's get into our color mixer. Let's see what we get with this green. Ooh, okay, that. Yes. I like that. It's still faded to black. Okay, yeah. We got a little bit more pop up here. I think that's good. I don't want a vignette. We can add a little bit of grain.
Vacuum_TKN just redeemed holy Snikes.
Bruce is saying, we thought that was going to be it for the future challenges, right, Shawn? Oh, yeah. Yeah. There's a reason back a while ago that it took me to do like in between challenges like 8 months. And it was really, sometimes it took me that long to even want to do it again because I was so angry. And it's a funny thing is, it's a simple mistake. And I know it's a simple mistake, but the whole thing is like, I built these all for the community and I didn't get to be the one to put it in the community. Like it's like my gift to all of you that take part, and that part is taken away from me. That's it. That's it. Okay, moving on. We don't need to talk about that anymore. Okay, we've got our grain. I don't know if we want any sharpening in this. I mean, that's gonna mess with the sky. So let's mask that out. Let's hold down the Option key. What we got going on there? What is that? Is that a bird? Is that a freaking bird? Lesson learned, yes. And totally my fault. I shouldn't have put the trust in the community. That's so wrong to say. Okay, let's update again. Okay. Big change. I like it. I like it. It's moody. It's moody. Okay, so got a screenshot for that for my YouTube thumbnail. And I think the next one, I want to work on this one. Now, here's something really important. When you are taking a photograph and you're exposing your image, remember to expose for the highlights. That's what you're exposing for. Like this all down here looks really dark and everything. We have a ton of contrast here. All that information is there since I shoot raw. And I can get this back no problem. If I just, we're not gonna do this, but if I go ahead, come into our basics and I hit auto, boom, there's all the information. My highlights are kept, all the shadows are opened up and we can see the whole, everything there. Is it interesting now? Absolutely not. So let's do a Command Z. We're gonna undo the auto setting. And I kind of like the splashing of the highlights that we've got going on these. It was tough lighting. It was shot at like 2:30, maybe? 1 o'clock. Okay, 1 o'clock. 2:30 would have been better, but had some harsh lighting. That's okay. So I'm not gonna mess with the highlight at all because I'm liking it. We can open up the shadows just a bit, bring open the blacks. Actually, what if we went the other way? Ooh, I got an idea. I got an idea. Let's grab a mask let's do an object selection. We're going to grab our brush. And we're going to just paint around this flower. And we'll just do it loosely. Whoops, making sure to get it. And release. You couldn't find an object? What? Lightroom. Are you freaking serious? There we go. It's like almost disappointed. Beautiful colors. Yeah, it's nice. It's nice. Okay, now. Ooh, there's like no shadows in that. All right. Let's take it up. Let's grab our, ooh. Now, here's really important. When you darken something up, you are adding saturation, okay? When you lighten, and let me do this differently. Let's go into our blacks. You lighten, you are pulling the saturation out. So you have to remember to get it back. Now, I'm taking the contrast because I'm at 100. This is wrong. But I wanted to be able to show what is actually happening here. So if we come back and we grab our exposure, we do bring our exposure up, maybe one stop. I like that. We can bring our highlight down. And that's actually adjusting a lot of the flower. Next, we can bring up our shadows. And what I'm trying to do is just really get in and see the detail that we've got going on within the center. And of course, since I brightened, let's bring the whites down just a bit. And bring the blacks, nope. That's enough. Now let's get in. We're going to add some saturation into that. And you can see it's adding saturation to the center. It's not adding saturation to the highlights, which is good, which is good. And of course, if I really wanted to, we could change the color, but I don't think we want to. We could, ooh. That's, I don't mind that. That's the before. That's the after. Now, I like that. Now I think it's too bright. So let's take down our exposure just a hair. I like that. I like that. Okay, here is now. There's a couple different things we could do. Normally what you want is the 4 flowers. Like if you think about it, and let's get out of here. Let's go ahead and I'm gonna do a virtual copy. There we go. Let's get into here and let's get back into our develop. Let's go into our grid. Normally, you are going to want having like 3 flowers. Okay, we have 5 that we can see. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then we got some buds here. There's a couple different ways, and that is the reason that I shot this image the way I did. I moved around specifically to get this blooming one, this starting to bloom, this really starting to bloom. These here haven't even, began to open up. And then this one. So we literally have like 5 flowers at different stages of its bloom, all right in the same image. Now, this might be too much because the problem is we have this light spot here and it's pointing us out of the image. So we could, I like what we've got going on here, but one option that we could do is we could go square and eliminate that. And right there, and even if I hit O for my overlays, and I should have hit Shift Overlay, you can kind of see, we can take this in and really bring this in nice. Let's go ahead, close that. Like that for a square, which normally I am not a fan of square editing. This is actually a really super nice crop. We still have the stages of blooming. We still have these 2 over here, but they're dark. You don't notice them unless you're looking for them, unless your eye catches it and you're like, oh, there's some buds right there. So you still have the one that's just starting to bloom. Welcome in. 800, that's all I can read. Welcome in. Good to see you and thank you. Nice photo. So we still have the stages of the blooming. Our eye is not being drawn away from the main flower to that secondary flower that's over on the edge. We still have the brightness happening. And so now the only thing that we need to worry about is maybe eliminating a little bit of the highlights up here, which we could dodge and burn, but I don't mind it in the sense of having those contrast of the light falling on the flowers that way. I really don't mind it. Now, from here, if we want to jump in and we go with a new mask and we say, okay, give me a radial gradient, and we come in and we're going to grab a radial gradient. Let's make it bigger. We can make it bigger still, something like that. And from here, we just increase the exposure, maybe a third of a stop. Yep, I like that. Now we come in and we go ahead and we duplicate and invert that mask. And we are going to make this bigger yet. Now, let's take our exposure down. Again, about a third. About a third. So from here, we are telling the story of the bloom. Now, I've created a virtual copy, but you can see the subtleness that we've got going on here. Whereas the before and the after, there's a little bit more of a pop happening within the center of our flowers now. So it's giving us, it's letting us know where to look. And I kind of like these. These are like bat ears up here. This is the Batman rose. I do not mind that. Okay, so now from here, let's do some global editing. Let's add a little bit of texture. We can add a tiny bit of clarity, and that's going to open up our midtones just a hair. We can darken just a tad with a dehaze and add even a little bit more pop just with some vibrance. Now the vibrance isn't going to affect a lot because we've got oversaturated pixels happening within our rows, but that's fine. I'm not worried about doing any color grading. Like I don't want to color grade it, even if we go into our hues. And do we want to change the greens at all? And to be honest, no, I really don't. I don't. So let's go ahead and hold down the option key. We can reset that. If you are concerned, you can always jump into the luminance and we could darken those greens, you know, quite a bit. That's not bad. Lighten it? Nope, don't do it. We could darken that down. That's not bad. That is not bad. Let's see here. Let's get into our effect. Let's add a post vignette and just a minute bit. You can see that we're clipping down here in the bottom right, and we can add just a touch of grain in. Yeah, maybe 5 will work. Let's get into our detail, zooming in here, and let's add some sharpening. Not too much, right about that. I like. Okay, let's zoom out. Holding down the option key, let's do a mask. And what do I have? Okay, that's normal. We're gonna mess something up. Did you see the Batman ears when you took the photo? No, I did not, Bruce. I did not see. I was so focused on the buds. Hold on really quick. I'll get, oh, that's not what I wanted. That's not what I wanted. Okay. This might be a mistake. Nope. Okay. Just get rid of that little bit. I'm gonna leave that. That doesn't bother me as much as that black spot. And we've got a bug right here. If I really wanted to remove, I could. But I'm okay. It's nature. Okay, let's get back to this one. No, so with this image, like I said, so I only took this one image, and you see almost all the time I take 2 images. I almost always take 2 images. For this image, I liked how the highlights are not washed out too. Yes. And if we go to develop, and again, this is, let's reset. So this is the original raw image. And I came walking by it, walking down a trail, and I stopped, and this thing is like this big. It's massive. The big one, obviously. It's huge. And I looked at it and I was like, okay. And that's when I saw this one. And then my eyes started running through it, and I kept walking until I got to the angle that I could see this one and this one within the shot. Hey, Stian, welcome back. And so this image, like, I immediately saw what I wanted. And I set it up for an f14. So even though, like, this is interesting, this is an f14, but we have a nice blur in the background. Earlier, when I was lurky, Bruce Shaka Dig Jiddle arrived, and a shark was on TV. What an entrance. Welcome back, Devlin. Welcome back. And you have a nice shiny sword. Okay. So, you know, this is one of those times that in my head, I knew the image I wanted to make. And I know when I got it. And I only needed one shot. So I already had it in my mind what I wanted. Did I think I was going to end up here? No. This is not the image that I had in my mind. And this is the power, this is the difference. And I love talking about this. This is the difference between being a photographer and being an editor. Like, and I don't mean a professional editor like Sandrine. I'm talking about like me. You know, being able to get a good photo, let me get out of the develop module. Being able to take and make a good photo, first off, being able to see it and then know your equipment to take it. Like, I knew I needed to get this highlight. That is exactly where I focused. I focused right here on this highlight. If I did not get that highlight, let's hit D for develop. Let's get into basic. Let's hit exposure. If I exposed this image for here, we're clipping. We're fully clipping. It's not the same image. It's not good. Totally not good. So this is the part that I enjoy, knowing how to take the image I want. But then I love once you get in and you start editing and you start seeing your Batman ears. You start seeing little bits and pieces here, you know, the buds. I didn't even pay attention to the buds. That I can still have the same, I could tell the same story from here to here and make it less complicated for the viewer. I hope that makes sense. I mean, this is when we as artists, when we're painting, when we're drawing, when we're taking photos, making photos, when we're editing photos, we're trying to tell a story. I mean, there's times, yes, I don't know what the story is here. All I know, it was freaking cool and kind of spooky and moody, and I wanted to go with it. Is there a story there? No. But I wanted to make something cool. You know, for this image, definitely the story. The story of nature and time. And, you know, throughout nature, you have different stages of nature. Devlin says, this is a very fine capture, Shawn. I'm no photographer, but I can appreciate the light consideration you did on the flower. Well done. Thank you, Devlin. And it was very, very, very specific. I mean, it was intended for that. Do I feel like we lost a little bit by oversaturating? No. We still have a nice highlight. You have the contrast. You've got the texture in the petals. Just opened up a little more. Yeah, so I like this. This is a nice image. Good contrast. I like that. Should it... it's Adobe stock, Steon. Actually, I got it off of Flickr. Or was it 500px? I don't know. I'll have to check the license. Oh, Stian. No. The question I have for you, chat, and we're going to be starting the doodle game soon, is, you know, this was taken in a garden. You could or should this be entered in the challenge? And I don't know. I was debating the same thing because I want to go to the botanical garden. I don't see. Okay. Here's the thing. This is what I'm kind of discovering, and I'm figuring it out. Now, obviously, a image like this cannot. But is it nature even if it's still a garden? So now, Stian, the answer is yes. And this falls under, what are you trying to tell? Okay, and this is redundant if you've been here before. Oliver and I got into a big discussion last week. So if you took an image of a flower or a weed breaking through, growing out of a crack on a street road or a sidewalk, and you name it the power of nature, it is nature. The flower is nature. And it's showing the power of nature overcoming humanity. Okay? So even though it's all man-made, it's surrounded by man-made streets, sidewalks, buildings, whatever, I would have to say that it fits. It fits completely. So something like this doesn't tell a story. So I would say absolutely not. Now for this, even though it is in a garden, ads incoming. Thank you, Devlin. Even though this is in a garden, you can't see any man-made anything. I know it's in a garden. Those here know it's in a garden. And I call it the cycle of nature. I would say it fits. Okay. Could, but without a story, it's kind of flimsy. Even a vague story would help. The story of the light capture and adjustment would qualify, in my mind anyway. I was gonna look for colors. My idea was that a flower in itself is kind of art. No, I'm good with that. It's also a man-made rose. So, okay, this is what we're gonna do. I am totally fine having this conversation. JPEG, throw that on the desktop. Yep. Do we want to resize? No. Yeah, let's resize. Resize to fit long edge. Let's do 2000 pixels. Do not enlarge. And let's export that. I'm just going to do it. Then you can disqualify me afterwards. Here's this. Stian, I'm going to make this really simple. Art in nature. Oops, wrong desktop. Take two. The cycle, and I'm blocking it. Way to go, Shawn. The cycle of nature. Okay, here's the deal. Well, I can wait. We're on ads right now. Ads, we need more ads. Okay, anybody new here? We are going to be playing the Doodle game. The Doodle game is a game of Pictionary in which I draw poorly and chat gets to guess what it is I am drawing. So let's close that down. Let's get set up. Let's get back to my brushes. Ads are going to be done shortly. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Welcome back, chat. Welcome back, Twitchers. Thank you for the dance party. Okay, Stian, let me actually jump here. Stian and anybody else, I'm going to make this really simple. You know this was taken in a garden. Can't tell. The title, The Cycle of Nature. You have the different sized buds. That growth, that's nature. That's nature. So I'm gonna say, yes, that is okay. I'm gonna say that's okay. If you want to dispute the fact that it shouldn't be included, I am more than happy to listen to you. I'm more than happy. Stian, you can't dispute. You just said you are gonna be setting up a precedent that if you dispute this and then you turn in from a botanical garden, yours is out too. I can tell it is in a garden because of the rose type it is, just as easily as the ones with the castle in the background. Okay, but Devlin, here's the question. I completely understand what you're saying. But at what point in time does it become nature? I mean, in reality, it's not a crop like corn that can't be grown without man-made help. Of course, this does have man-made help because it's in a garden, but if it is left to grow on its own, will it continue to grow? And then at what point in time does it become nature? Like that, these are the lines that I'm having problems figuring out. In the same sense as I was showing before, those man-made sculptures that are in nature. They're man-made sculptures. Is that going to be? A rose is a rose is a rose. A plant is nature. Most roses cannot continue, and the argument is circular. It's the circle of life, and it moves us all. General, hello there, good timing. So, are you disputing this, Devlin? I mean, I know in the very beginning, we said, hi, Uma, good timing. We said, nope, all is good if it is a plant. Okay. I think they're testing you, Shawn. I need it. Like, I don't know where the cutoff is. You know, we know zoos. Zoos, we're going to say no. Absolute no. I have wildflowers in my garden and let them grow. I don't remove them. A space wizard arrives precisely when he means to. So, hold on. So, if you're a space wizard and then you live in space, wouldn't you just be a wizard? Like, I don't say I am a home photographer. Hi, Alex. Welcome in. This is going to be a case, I think, a case-by-case situation of figuring it out. You know, we have Roberts. Robert made a composition, obviously, of this. I don't know what it means. I haven't done any of these challenges, but I don't see the problem including any of these in a nature category. Well, we have been going round and round as into what nature is and what it is we don't want. And I came up with rules, and I'm going to be blunt about this, Chris. I wanted no man-made stuff. And then Elena was drawing this on her stream as Mother Nature. And I'm like, that rule, nope, this has to be in. This is so nature, so natural, so beautiful. I cannot say no to this. So this is a constantly changing set of rules of what is accepted and what is not. And this was the first one, like day 2, that totally put me in my place. I was like, yep. Okay, if you come up with what is nature and you give me a good title, I'm for it. He's altering the deal. Pray he doesn't alter it any further. Oh, it'll be altered. It will be altered. Okay. Let's get the doodle game going. I've been talking long enough. I'm going to be drawing with a mouse today. So to win, I just need to take a single photograph that defines all that nature is and isn't easy. Well, I don't know, Stian, because I'm probably going to choose a winner, but then we're going to have the People Choice Awards. So maybe. Okay, we're gonna start with easy. Oh, we just did that. Oh, I think we may have done this before, but I don't remember. Alrighty, here we go. Remember, everybody, we are on easy. So I promise free brownies to everyone who votes for me. Doodle game. Woo! I probably should have used a whale, a clog. Chris! Sunglasses! Wow! Wow! Chris! Nice job. Bam! Sunglasses. Good job. Good job. Coming in like a pro. Blasted delay. Delay. It was 11 seconds, General. Type faster. Type faster. Go to Twitch. Go to Facebook. Heck, you probably still won't get it, but come to my studio. Okay, let's take it up to medium. 15-second delay. That was my one win. Hey, that's fine. I know I haven't done this. This is going to be ugly. Oh. What am I doing? What are you even doing, Shawn? Okay, hold on. You must love pain drawing with a mouse. I have my Wacom, but the problem is I'm on my laptop right now and I'm not running on my computer. So yeah. Let me start this again. All right. I'm just such a horrible drawer, and at certain things I've never drawn like this. Cloud. Oh my God, you got it, Bruce. Bruce Fist. Oh, Bruce. I get anything with a hand and I'm like, panic. I'm like, no. Bruce. I gotta turn down the smoothing. Okay. Wait a minute. What? General, you were 4 seconds. This is outrageous. Oh, Bruce Shakalaka. Bruce. You're getting better, General. You're only 4 seconds behind. Fist. Okay, we're kicking it up to hard. So I was 11 seconds before. 14. You were 14 seconds. So you went from 14 seconds down to 4. So you're doing better. Okay, hard. Ooh. Ooh. Oh. This is kind of a tough one. I mean, meow. Meow. Okay. A lounge chair. A pie. A tray, a slide, a platter, a dish, a saucer. As soon as I start doing something on this, people, you all are gonna get it. Whoops. That's fine. That's fine. Now I want lasagna. Lasagna. A baking tray. Ooh, I screwed that up, but that's okay. Brownies. Piece of pie. I am drawing super bad. Portions. Ice cube tray, dinner tray, lunch, cafeteria tray, takeaway, TV dinner, helping buffet, microwave. I'll tell you what, chat. You've actually said the correct words. The difference is you did not put the two words together. Frozen dinner, Nighthawk, window, divide, helping buffet, a bento box. Okay. Microwave TV dinner. So chat, what meal would you see a tray like this for? You said it. Lunch. Okay. Now what is it? Put the two together. Lunch tray, a sack lunch, frozen TV dinner tray, dish, Salisbury steak, lunch tray, lunch tray. Oh my God, Devlin, you wrote all that and you tied Bruce. How did you? You tied Bruce. It was lunch. It's lunch tray. We got Bruce and Devlin. That's fine. Lunch tray. All right. Good job, Bruce and Devlin. Lunch tray. All right. We're going to kick it up to real hard. Real hard. Real hard. This is really hard. I think you can get it. I think you can get it. Okay. But we had about second breakfast. We had? Is that a word? Ripped paper, piece of paper, mountain. Paper corner. Cracked. Shattered. Riptaler. Ratty, rip pipe. Okay. A piece. Fragment. Fragment. A fragment. Oh my God, Chris. Chris. Getting the real hard one. Bam, Chris. Fragment. Woo! Dang. I thought that was going to take a little longer. I did. My cat helped me with that one. Oops. Get back here. Fragment. Good job, Chris. All right. Ooh. We're gonna kick it down to hard now. Come on. Come on. Serious? Oh, you suck. You suck. Come on. All right, here we go, people. Ticklish monetary, funeral agreement, bathtub. Pool table. Transistor, radio, table hockey, sink, looks like a pool table, stabilized phonographic recording, record player, a divider, laser disc player, pool table. dot matrix printer. Printer. Pasta maker. A calculator, a Heidelberg duplicator, a tax machine, an Enigma. Oh, you guys are all around it. Gonna keep going. Calculator, yeah. There's another name for it. An adding machine. A cash register. A computer. Yeah, it is an old computer. Number cruncher. What's it called? What's it called? Come on. Calculating machine. A totalizer. Oh, I love that word, but no. Who uses it? Our arithmometer. Arithmometer? An accountant. What is the verb of that, General? What is the verb? Abacus. Accounting machine. Accounting. Accounting. This is gonna be a two-parter. I'm gonna give this to General because I don't want him to cry. And then we'll give it to Devlin. Accounting. That was hard. Because General, because you got accountant, gonna give you half. Counting. I was thinking, and I probably should have drew it sideways. I was thinking of one of those machines like this, you know, with the buttons, but I think you all would have like something like this, and then, you know, you got the handle up here, and then the ticker tape. Like, I think all of you would have been like a cash register. But, you know, I was thinking about the old accounting machines. Yeah. Because I know I've drawn this before for cashier. But good job, General. Good job, Devlin. What time is it? We got time for a couple more. What else am I gonna do? Oh, well, I guess I got prompt jockey. Okay. Let's kick it up to really hard. Oh, we've done this one before. I can't do it again. It was incisors. Incisor. The teeth. Yeah, we did that one. How can I do this one? A monkey's armpit. I don't think I can do this one. I have no idea how to do it. It's confide. I don't even know how I would do that. Confide. All right, regenerate. A single plume floating in perfume served in a man's hat. Okay. Guini. Okay, just get the field for it. Paperweight, orange juice. A big red button. Memorial. Court of Justice. Oh, it kind of does look like that. Capitol Dome. Okay. Pavilion, University. The entrance. Observation. State House, Parliament. Okay. Who are the people? Who's inside? Congress? Yup. Senate? Yup. Hall of Justice? Senator? Representatives. Chris, you're on fire. Representatives. Statement. Wow. Representatives. Yeah.
Brew Shark Digital just redeemed Holy Snikes.
Yeah, Holy Snikes is right on that one. I did not know how we were gonna get to that. We need another layer. Oh, come on. There you go. Representatives. Not a clue. Not a freaking clue. All right, we got time for one more. No, two more. I like to end with real hard. Okay. I honestly don't know if we've done this or not, and I don't care. Too funny. Devlin, you didn't even let me get to the fun part. Cuckoo clock. I cannot believe that cuckoo clock is hard. Draw the cuckoo. I drew it too small. I have yellow bell cuckoos here in the trees, roadrunners too. You have roadrunners in the trees? They're both cuckoo family. Yeah, we're not ending on that. That was too easy. Too easy that we had. Yeah, we're not ending on that. I've seen a few. I've seen a few, Devlin. Cuckoo clock. Okay, last one, everybody. Let's kick it up to real hard. This isn't going to be fun. I don't want to do it. I don't want to do it. That's not going to be fun. Yeah, really hard. Oh. Oh. Okay. Okay. I'm down with that. Do one you want to do. I am. All right. A border, a stamp, a map, all right. Directions, make it pop. Treasure. World. Location, journey. Islands, travel. Route. Island Adventure. Quest. Journey. Okay. I'm having enough fun here. Colonize. Itinerary, plan, search, checkpoint, goal. Yeah, goal. Discover. Destination. We have a tie. Destination. Good job, General and Caroline. The friends we mad along the way. So General came up first with the tie. So we'll put General. And Caroline coming in strong. And I hate writing with the mouse. Destination. Great job. Great job. Wins from YouTube. Oh yeah, you're both on YouTube. Yeah. All right. Everybody, thank you so much for playing along. Chris, you came in strong. I think this is your first time playing, isn't it? Good job, you. Who is Jeeve? Jeeves. It's Jeeves. It's a search engine. General, that's what we're gonna call you from now on. Jeeves. I played before, but it's been a while. Well, good job. Good drawing, Shawn. This is, you know what, I gotta say, this is a lot of fun, but it's also like certain things, it's helping me out. It's definitely helping. It's actually helping me with my thought process more than it is helping me with my drawing skills. So it's definitely, I can see the difference, but it's a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun. Thought exercise and drawing too. Yes. Yep. It is. All right. Thank you everybody for being here. I am going to, and it helps us understand abstract art. Okay. Really, abstract art. Hold on. Layer 1. Rename, please. Your document is clean. Wait. What did that say? Your document is clean? Your document is clean to specify a layer. Oh, selected layer. Okay. Selected layer. Apply. There we go. Hand-drawn map diagram. At least it didn't say childlike this time. Oh, you too, Caroline. Stay cool. Oof.
Clever Devlin just redeemed Big Boom.
Bam. Thank you, Devlin. Okay. Chris, thank you. Thank you for being here. Everybody, I'm going to be live on the Firefly Prompt Jockey in about an hour and a half with Jack Watson. What we're going to do, I don't know. We'll figure it out soon. I will be back Thursday. Probably, maybe more editing. It's just been so freaking hot. I'm not having a chance to really do anything to get outside, except for the little bit of editing that we did today. Yeah, we got on some tangents. That was good. Everything was a good day. Too hot. Yes, Umacorn. You and I are close enough. I'm assuming we have the same weather. It's freaking hot. It is hot.
Umacorn just redeemed holy snikes.
Holy shnikes, it's hot. Yep. Bam. Okay. Again, thank you all for being here. I will be talking to you and seeing you in chat. I think Adobe Live is starting back up today. And same old, same old. All right, everybody, I hope you stay cool, stay safe, stay creative, and just be nice. I will be seeing you in chat, and I hope you all have a great rest of your day. Bye, everyone. Bye-bye.